portfolio.
Yes. My current is, I don't know if the file will be relevant. It's just like my work-related topic is not really. It's sort of like with my TA-ship currently, and I kind of want some guidance on how to be a little bit diplomatic and how to better work in a team.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm not sure if the file will help, but the situation, if I can just.
So you teach for which course?
I'm a teaching assistant for Professor Dirk at, I think it's Introduction to Logic.
Okay, 210.
210, exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And who are the other TAs? Or maybe okay, go ahead.
The other TAs are, I believe, Val, Sophie, Boyu, and Paul.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really think this is a big deal, but I did want to just double check, just to make sure I'm, just to make sure really that I'm not making a big deal. But so this past Wednesday, we had a team meeting with all the TAs and Professor Schlim, and over the weekend, I confess that during this meeting this past Wednesday, that over the weekend I had granted a student, I possibly granted a student an extension, without waiting for Professor Slim's sanction or his explicit permission to do so. I told this to Professor Slim, and he just not a big deal, but I do want to describe it as how I perceived it. But I saw that he got very visibly mad, and he started accusing me of trying to, quote, undermine his power and trying to, I think, hold power for myself. I was very silent, and I apologized, and I genuinely do feel bad. This is why I'm hoping to ask you for advice on how to, better work in a team and to move forward. So I did apologize, and I said sorry for not waiting for your permission to grant the student extension. I understand that might have been, not appropriate. I just wanted to emphasize, and I don't know, I think this fell on deaf ears because he was a bit mad, I would say. I did say that it was not because I wanted to undermine his authority in giving the extension to the student. It was because I just felt sympathetic towards the student. The student had written about undergoing a drug relapse, so that was the only reason. I just felt sympathetic. I wanted to clarify that, it was not because I wanted to undermine his authority. I just felt sad about the whole situation with the student, so I gave it. I don't know if that's, made things any better, but yeah, I agree with Professor Schlim. Maybe I should have waited. I just don't know how to handle his perception that I was doing this because I wanted to take away his authority, which is furthest thing from the truth, because I really respect him and this course. I don't know how this could have been blown up to be interpreted that way. So after Wednesday's meeting and that had happened.
And just a question of clarification. Normally the students, they submit their work to Dirk Schlim, not to you.
They submitted it over, up to my course, correct. But the student emailed me directly to ask for an extension.
Okay. Because he knew you in the small group.
I believe so. I believe that might have been it. I don't know. But the student just emailed me for an extension, and I went on the syllabus, and it says on the extension policy nothing about, who gets to grant the extension. So, I just thought it was okay for me to do so. And now I see that it's wrong, because now Professor Schlim had told me no, he prefers that he be the one to do it. It's just, I do think there was some kind of misunderstanding, and my intention was not to disrespect in any way. And that was really all I wanted to emphasize with you. I don't think this is a big situation, but I did want to tell you about it anyways, because after Wednesday, I thought things had blown over, and everything will be fine. But Professor Schlim has emailed me on Thursday and Friday at least 3 times asking for some kind of written admission that I gave the student an extension. I have not yet responded because I'm not sure really how to handle this. I want to get back, I want to help him, but I'm just not sure how to handle this in the best way possible. So.
Because you did it for other students as well?
No, just one student, and that's why, and I told him it was one student. It was just out of compassion, and also I just thought the policy on extensions was ambiguous. It didn't say that it was only Professor Schlim's duty to grant extensions, and I just interpreted
So I don't
wrong.
understand why he sent you other emails afterwards about other cases.
Oh no, he's just saying he sent me a couple emails saying, did you give this student an extension? The particular student that we've already been talking about, that one case. Can you, write that you actually gave that one student an extension? I haven't responded to those yet.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe you could told him that you are affected by the fact that you have the impression that he misinterprets your intention, and that maybe you commit yourself to speak with the student by saying that you gave him the extension and it was inappropriate, and that's only the professor who can do it. And that I don't know. I'm a bit surprised. What I know about my colleague is that he's very direct. So when there's something that he doesn't like, he mentions. But I don't see him as someone who would harbor grudges on people for a long time or something like that. Maybe he just wants a clarification.
Right.
But I think it's always good to mention to the other that you have been affected because even if you understand that it was inappropriate and that you want to repair that and you want to speak with the student, that in no way you have thought of the fact that it could undermine his authority and so on. So I think it's always better to clarify this, but sometimes it's better to speak than to write. So you could also ask for a Zoom, I don't know. That might be easier than
to do over email, yeah.
To
do over email because the email's a bit detached. So I did want to say, I'm not saying that Professor Schlim is, holds grudges and he's like, volatile. I know.
You.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm glad to know from your end that everything has been fine. I do think it was just from my perception. Maybe it's also because, I don't know him too well, right? So I just don't know him too well, and I'm not sure if him being mad means that he's going to be mad forever. And I just wanted to clarify that he just wanted to tell me what he thought about my action, and that was it. And it's not going to be, a big thing. That's really because if it were a big thing, I just want to tell you because well, I'd want to handle it in the best way possible. I don't want him to think that I'm trying to disrespect him. So I think you're right. I think I'm going to ask him if he wants to talk over Zoom so that I could kind of clarify why I gave the student extension again, and that obviously I'm sorry, I won't do it again.
Yeah, so maybe you could say also if he thinks that that you could apologize to the student and say that you gave him a false information.
Yeah.
And maybe yeah, and so that you like to speak with him on Zoom. So it could be that for him it was obvious that only professors grant extensions, but that maybe it would be helpful if next year in the syllabus is written that communication with TAs has no bearing on extension or things like that.
That's good. I will, I'll
and
mention
also
that.
that you did not realize it when he asked you at the first time, so that you felt, I don't know, a bit fragile when you realized that he found it very inappropriate because it was not in your intention at all to do. So to explain what you have told me.
Exactly. I'll let him know. I'll ask him for a Zoom meeting and say, "Oh, I'm willing to apologize to the student and tell the student that what the real policy really is, and to maybe, next time we should maybe clarify the syllabus so that the extension policy is clearer." I'm willing to do all that to really show him that I'm sincere, that I don't really want to undermine his authority. I just felt bad for the student, and that wasn't a good excuse or a reason, but that's what happened, So, yeah, I'll see. I'm sure he'll respond well, So I did want to just ask. So these are some good ideas, I think, on how to handle it. Thank you, Professor Fias.
Yeah, because I always think that sincere communication helps. So I think that's good also that, I don't know, maybe you express to him that it makes you a bit anxious about that because you really want to do your best as a TA and to help him and help the students. So,
exactly.
That sometimes you just realize afterwards that it was a mistake.
Yeah, I will let him know that too. Yeah, I'll let him know, and then if there is anything, hopefully I could tell you. But so far I don't think it's a big deal. It's just my perception that I might have done something to hurt him a lot. So I was just worried a bit. So I wanted to make sure that I could handle this in a good way for both of us. Because I do want to contribute to the team.
And was it a graduate student or an undergrad?
An undergrad. So, again, it was purely because I just felt bad for the undergrad situation, really. But yeah, now I understand, why Professor Schlimm is upset, and I get that it's not a good, reason to just hand out an extension because the student had a, sad circumstance. And that's fine with me, and I won't do it again. I learned my lesson, so yeah.
Yeah, so I think also just in general, because it's a big course, so you might get a lot of requests of that kind, especially with COVID and so on. So you might have also strong policies about having a health certificate and so on.
Okay, so yeah.
So that might be good also, to have a discussion about that, because maybe just thought that you gave it, without thinking of it, just by trusting the student without having any proof. I don't know.
Right. I will say that.
But I'm not sure you need to develop that, because I think
I don't think so.
It's not to give the impression that you think now that it was right to do it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, although it was ambiguous, I agree that I don't think it's right now, because I do value Professor Schlimm's opinion more, and this is his course, so I value that. So yeah, I don't want to give that impression. I do just want to emphasize, how do I emphasize that there might be some ambiguity in the extension policy, but that's not to say that I'm blaming you, Professor. How do I say that to him? How do I convey that meaning?
No, I would just say that it's your first time as a TA?
No, it's my third time.
Okay. Have you granted extensions before?
Yes, and the professor for that course was okay with it.
So that's important also to say.
I didn't want to mention it at the time because Professor Schlim was visibly angry. That's how I perceived it.
And, so I think well, sometimes also letters can help because you can take distance and find a good word. So
Exactly.
sometimes, so it depends on the situation. So, but I mean, I would mention it to say you totally understand that it's his policy, and if you had known that, you would not have done it, and that also you want to repair it, so to be to the students, and you don't mind telling him that you made a mistake. But to defend yourself, you could also explain that given that you have worked for another commander and the TA who did not mind that TAs would grant extensions, then that you are a bit saddened by his reaction because you did not want to give him the impression that you wanted to undermine his authority and so on. That it had never been your intention. And so that's why at the end you could say maybe that would be good to clarify it also with the other TAs to be sure that it doesn't happen, given that not every professor has the same policy on that. But that you totally respect the fact that he wants to manage it.
On his own, yeah. I'm going to write that to him and make sure that I'm emphasizing that, I am not trying to take away his power, but you're right. So I'll also mention to him that it was just because I had worked with another professor and he was perfectly fine with, TAs granting extensions, and I might have carried over that habit to this course without verifying with Professor Schlim. So I'll let him know, and I think it'll go well, but I'll keep you updated just in case.
Yeah, so that's why that might be good to say maybe just a short sentence on the course description next year could help the students to know that they should not contact TAs for extensions, that it will never be granted.
You're right. Yeah, I'll mention to him. Maybe you could add.
If you find a good way.
Yeah, don't to add to the policy not to contact TAs so that this wouldn't happen again. So, well, yes, we have a team meeting on Wednesday, but I think I can probably ask for a private meeting sometime this week, and I'm sure it'll go well. I think Professor Schlim is great. I just don't want to upset him. But it's glad to know from you, who's known him for a while, that he is generally open to working things through, or not.
Yeah, I would say the kind. What I appreciate with him is that when there is a problem, he mentions it, because it happened to me that I did something that was inappropriate and I did not realize it. So he mentioned it to me, and I was very grateful that he did. Because you also have some people who will just smile at you, and in fact they're angry.
Yeah.
So I think I go crazy. So I think it's easier to work with someone who tells you there is a problem and I was not happy with it, even though you have just to deal with it, than with someone who will not tell you, and at the end,
Yeah, it's the worst for you. So I'm glad that he did tell me this now. It's just I hope he's not mad. So I know he's not now after talking to you. So it really makes me feel better to know that he's not going to be mad forever. He just maybe wanted to tell me, and I just might have interpreted it a little bit differently. Okay. I'll keep you updated, Professor Fiat. I'm sure it'll be fine though.
And especially, that's the first assignment of the year?
It was the first assignment as well.
Yeah, so that's why it's good also to have that conversation now, to be sure that, so I suppose Paul, it's his first TA, no?
For
he's new this year, he's PhD too.
Most of us are, well, there's only 5 TAs. 3 of us are new to the course, for the course TA-ship, I believe. I'm not sure if they've TA'd before, but I don't think they have. It's me, Paul, and Boyu who are first-time logic TAs, I believe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's why I think that might be helpful also. Um, so yeah, so I think that's very good to insist on the fact that there has been a misunderstanding from both sides because you did not understand that it was a policy and so on. So that you apologize for it, that you are committed to repair what has happened, and so on, that the student turns to him and doesn't take into consideration the extension you granted. But on the other hand, that there has been maybe a misunderstanding on his behalf because he, he, uh, he did not mention to you that TAs don't have the right to give extensions, while you did it for other professors, that your intention was never to abuse of your power and so on. So I think there would be a good balance to show. Yeah.
Okay. I'll explain that to him, and I'll keep you updated. I took some notes during our own meeting, so I'll make sure to emphasize those key points. And I'm sure it'll be fine. I just I'm having I guess a day where I feel really bad about what happened. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Thank you, Professor Fias. I hope everything will be fine soon. Mm-hmm.
Keep trust.
Okay. Have a good day. Bye bye.
All the best for your meeting. Bye bye.
Yeah, I did. I granted the student